We're outside Club Carnival, Carnival, not Carnival, Carnival, and there's an ambulance, police tape, at least 3 officers present. Lady selling tamales, bolis, cocoa. I'm not sure what all that is. Take a look. We'll stay outside the police tape, outside the crime scene. There's a body here. There's a person in there. Are they dead? What the hell's going on around here? Can't tell if they're moving or not. But there's an ambulance over there. There's no EMS with that person. 9189 here. I don't see any movement. I see cans of soda, maybe a light beer or something over there. Watermelon in a package. Man's not moving. Looks like a man not moving. Looks to be dead. Not moving at all. And the police aren't doing much, but I guess they're establishing a crime scene. But what happened to the person? Did they die of substances, or did they die of the elements? Did they die of neglect? It's definite that they died of neglect due to the city. The city doesn't really do anything to protect the streets and people on the streets, citizens on the streets. And I think that person's dead. I don't see any blood either. Unit number 6744. There's 3 cops here. And the EMS is over here. Where these are brand new condos. There's been a lot of people displaced on this side of town. People of color, people of poverty, people without shelter. The city has spent money on roads and parks and rainbow crosswalks that don't mean anything. At the same, hey, how's it going?
How you doing, sir?
Better than that guy, I think. Is he dead?
Yeah, it's deceased investigation at this
Did
point.
they know what happened yet? But did they? So the EMS is here, but they're not doing life-saving measures, right?
Yeah.
No.
Not.
Yeah. That's very sad. So yeah, the city spent $580 something million, something like that, on APD's budget. But again, there's not any housing hardly. They're not out here doing preventative care. They just do the bare minimum. The city really doesn't care about people. They care about police salaries. They care about dead guy over there.
No English, right?
Muerte. El hombre muerte. Allá. Allá, sí.
Yeah.
Es very, ¿cómo se dice? Sad. Sueño? No, it's sad. It's very sad. Es muy mal. Es el hombre viejo. Y la policía no dice nada. So yeah, a Club Carnaval here is a club. It's a, what do you call it? Tano club. Tano's a style of music, so it's just a Latin music club. Oh, yeah. What's going on with my buddy cam? My buddy cam was not working. License plate here, 140-8979-133-0195. You're not really going to investigate what the medical examiner does in this town. The courts, the lawyers, the medical examiner, they've been corrupt for years and years and years. in Austin. It's just a show. It's just a white supremacist show. But it's, you know, a dog and pony show, whatever you want to call it. And the crime scene team goes over to here. But as you can see, they're not really investigating. The medical exam, they're waiting on the medical examiner to come pick up the body. They don't even need EMS here because there's no life-saving measures. It's just a waste of taxpayer dollars at this point. The medical examiner will either say it's natural causes or the elements or something like that, but they won't really investigate. In fact, if a person's been murdered or there's been foul play, the medical examiner will also say that's natural causes or you know, what do they call it? The elements, died from the elements. Yeah, time and time again, people's bodies have been found in Austin. Most of these do not make the news. I don't get to cover all of them. Actually, I think this is the first one I've actually covered. I hope it is. I hope it's the last. I don't really like seeing bodies myself. I don't know about you, but yeah. So I don't know what the death count's going to be this year. Last year was about 400 officially, which you can probably double or triple that. That's what the city, between the targeting by the police of the let's just call people homeless. I mean, that's what they call us. So using their words, they target the homeless, steal their property, steal all their survival gear. And in Texas, we have extreme weather on both ways. We get really cold. We had, we had some freeze that killed a lot of people. And a few years ago, the freeze apocalypse, I think they call it. I don't know what they call it. And it was during the pandemic. And then they also have, or the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, the pandemic. We'll just call it the pandemic. That's what they call it. The shutdowns, the pandemic shutdowns, the COVID shutdowns, the government shutdowns of people's businesses that cause massive economic distress. But yeah, so literally hundreds of dead people on the streets, hundreds of dead people on the streets, hundreds and hundreds every year, which makes thousands, which makes tens of thousands, murdered by the city, murdered by the police, murdered through police activity, murdered through negligence. You know, you call it negligent homicide. If you were taking care of, say you're a babysitter and you're taking care of someone's children, and you left them in the bathroom and they drowned in the tub while you were watching the new episode of Friends. Okay? That would be negligent homicide, and you would go to jail, prison for that. The city, because it's a corporate entity, because the corporations are seen as powerful people under laws like Citizens United. So the city has no liability when they kill thousands of people on the streets through targeting, through harassment, through racial profiling and harassment and targeting people like myself. I've been through all of that. You asked me, like, if they run into me with their police SUVs? Yes. Gonna go check them out. Oh, they're investigating now. Look, he's gonna investigate something. So the police do watch the live feed. There's a cop just standing over a dead homeless person after targeting him to death. He'll get a hero's badge for this. They'll put something on his medal saying, hey, you really cared about the public. But where were they when he was alive? They're keeping him criminalized. You get criminalized in this town for being homeless. It's against the law right now for that man to be dead lying down under city code, under the ordinance. It's against the law for him to lie down in certain parts of town. It's been a moving target. He's flashing a flashlight on him, looking around. But that's somebody's father, somebody's uncle, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's, what do you call him? Church mate? What do you call it? Brother from church, whatever you want to call it. That's your brother. That's your father. That's you. And if you ever become poor, mentally ill, other things happen to you, you'll die out here. And the city will just shine a flashlight on you. The flashlight never shines on themselves. They never audit themselves to see why people are dying by the hundreds out here. That's not being investigated. So I call it murder by the numbers. I think that the city is and these officers are murderers. I feel like through the actions that you can see on this YouTube channel right here and other places, probably around the internet, through news articles, you can see that not only does APD get away with raping people, murdering people, not only do they get away with that, they get away with targeting people to death, especially homeless people, people that don't have access to law. Taxation without representation applies here. They make laws against you, but you don't have anybody in city council. You're not even voting. Like, you're not even able to like participate in the system because you're in survival mode, because the city keeps targeting and threatening and harassing and threatening to arrest and arresting. And I've been through all of it, and all my friends have been through it over and over and over. I've talked to people that have had their stuff stolen by the city and by the police 20, 30 times now, what they call sweeps, when they sweep camps. So how are you going to sweep camps and then pretend you care? How are you going to do any of that? So the last time I saw the medical examiner was at a death of a man, a homeless man, possibly, probably. I think that's what the police said. Over on East Bend White, a few miles from here. And a medical examiner literally shoved me in my camera and assaulted me. I filed complaints, I think, and nobody cared. Nobody cares. The government can do anything to you, and you can't do anything to the government. That's the problem with this. So they're putting stuff on their computer over there. I'm not sure what. It is our information in our system, so we do have a right to the information that they hide illegally. It's really sad. This is really sad. And EMS is still there, spending money. They're not needed. They're not going to save any lives. And the medical examiner doesn't need them. The medical examiner's office is a separate county office from EMS, actually. They operate their own thing. Cops are going over here now. They're going to go get him on the cell phone, see if he can call his family and help him get home. Are they going to go get him home? I do have my press badge on, clearly visible. I'm just holding a handheld camera with the live stream. Maybe the officer wants to be interviewed, I don't know. I'm having problems with my body cam though. Clean the lens, hold on guys. He's over there laughing. He's chuckling. Oh. He's over there. Is he talking to the man? He's looking around the man. I would not be surprised if they bring more police officers. Now that this man is deceased and there's a person over here filming what the news, which is me, with my press ID, I would not be surprised if they bring what they call filmer back up. There's a dead man, skinny from starvation and malnutrition, and here comes the new police truck. There's 2 more cops, so that makes 5 police officers. 3901 is the unit number. Will he take off when he sees the camera? 1590085 is the LP. What the police call the LP. It's a very sad day in Austin. Another Austinite dead. Do the police care? They get paid not to care. This cop doesn't care. He was chuckling a minute ago on the phone. Just walking around. They're not really investigating. They're looky-looing. But it's not a true investigation, y'all. It's not a true investigation. And who will investigate the police? So from what I'm seeing, nobody investigates the police. No one. I'm not talking about just internal affairs and SIU, Special Investigative Unit. I'm talking about also the Office of Police Oversight, Office of Police Monitor, the district attorney said that that they're partnered with the police. They don't investigate the police. That's what they told me. It was on my live stream like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, whatever it was. Let's see. The police don't investigate the police. I think I already said that. The federal courts don't investigate the police. The Department of Justice investigated the police and then gave them a pass. They said, you guys have like 100 and something items that are wrong, that you could be corrected. And 117 items. That was the third time the Department of Justice came here, the feds, and investigated APD and gave recommendations. But no, again, no arrests. So there was no arrest for bad cops, criminal cops. The district attorney actually has a G drive that he's refusing, Jose Garza's refusing to release, that has who knows how many bad cops on it. Who knows how many? We don't know, because he won't tell us. There is no police accountability. There is no transparency of government here. It's totally corrupt. I'm sure your town is too. I don't know where you live, but feel free to chime in on the chat. You might end up becoming a moderator. I think I figured out how to do that. Or was that on my computer? I forget. I have a hard time with the app, the phone app. It's kind of buggy if you ask me. It's got a few issues. It's not very user friendly on the what you call it, the UI, when it's the orientation for landscape portrait doesn't stay. Even if you set it, it changes if you turn your camera or tilt your camera. But yeah, I know people that work in this area. They'd be interested in knowing that somebody died here. Well, actually, it's like the second or third time I've heard someone get killed out here or die out here in this parking lot, which is the whole, half the block, the whole block, whatever. A man was shot in the back of the head in the parking lot during club night. This club gets real busy here. And then another man got shot back behind AutoZone, next to the pawn shop, behind the building, in between the two buildings, behind a dumpster. Or maybe he was stabbed. I think he was stabbed to death. And I don't know what that was about. He was a Hispanic guy. A Spanish name. And then this man makes 3 that I know of, that I can recall. But who knows? And it's the police, how many people die over here. That's what they're going to do to support people, liberate people, support them, help them to not suffer to death. Help them not suffer in general in life, all the way to death. But this man suffered before he died. He's skinny, he's malnourished, he's living out in the heat, in Texas heat. It's starting to get, to the mid-90s finally, but it's been, 100, almost 110 for a month or more. And when they take your everything, they take your clothes, your water, your coolers, your stove, your blankets, your bedding, your tent, your shade, your family's photos, your medicine. They take everything. They make people die. The APD steals people's medicines, which is against the law. They steal people's wheelchairs. I've got it on video. They stole a man's wheelchair who had one leg. Has one leg. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I'm gonna say he has one leg still. He goes by name of Tank. He's out on the Menchaca area. But yeah, it's super sad. Today is really sad. Let's have a moment of silence for this unnamed man dying on the Austin streets while the cops get paid to stand around. Some video of this police tape here. very sad. We live in a backwards world, y'all. Señores, muerte. Muerte. Sí. ¿Qué? No sé. ¿Qué? Sí, it's muy calor. See, everybody knows it's too hot to be out here. And the city doesn't have support services. If we're in Chicago and it was 10 feet of snow, people who have support services, they would round people up and get them in the shelter before they died. In the Texas heat, it's a weather emergency. Everyone knows it. They're refusing water. They're refusing bathrooms. They're refusing any kind of treating people like animals, letting people die like animals. That should be against the law. The actual animals are these pigs right here. These pigs that parasite off our taxes, that don't have anything useful to do here. They don't have a thing useful to do. One cop could do this job of just sitting here holding up the police tape with the car antennae. I mean, why do they need it out in the parking lot? So that they can back up their vehicles, probably, I guess, directly. But when the medical examiner, there is a medical examiner. So there's not going to be a press conference because this is the news you're not supposed to hear about. This is the dark underbelly of the wealthy white Austin society. Is there going to be a press conference or a PIO?
Just a second, sir.
Okay. I didn't want to yell at you or anything.
You're good.
Piper? Okay.
No press conference.
No PIO?
No. I don't know if you can follow up at the PIO office. I don't know how they're
not very good.
Yeah,
It's the shittiest PIO I've ever dealt with.
I have no
Even the city's PIO is better than the APD's PIO.
I have no experience with them. Like, I don't ever interact with them.
Yeah.
I don't think
You're lucky.
These sort of calls, like the PIO guy doesn't come out here and do
Yeah,
like,
it's just the
press
death of a
conference.
person. Yeah, no big deal.
Medical examiner's office is going to come out.
Yeah.
That's
We're waiting on the Emmy.
Yeah.
That's why this is roped off so the Emmy can back right up.
exactly. And that'll probably be it for this.
Emmys assaulted me just about a year ago. They assaulted me at the death of another man on Ben White. Yeah, so just to let you know. Not that I haven't been assaulted by APD officers.
What was that?
I've been assaulted many times by APD officers, but I don't expect the medical examiner to assault citizens, especially the press. When we got this thing right here, this is what? Press, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's pretty obvious.
Well, I mean, sometimes they gotta, contain scenes and stuff like
Oh,
that.
I was outside the police tape. That's the point. Like, this is the tape is the barrier, right?
Yeah.
So there's this one officer, Casanova. You know Casanova? I never met him either. But we were up off of Runberg area, North Austin, North Lamar, and he told me that that there's a new law. He said this on video. It's already online. That there's a new law that no citizen can be within 15 feet of the police tape. We have to be 15 feet, so we have to measure out 15 feet. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that law.
I'm not aware of the 15 feet rule.
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
No.
You know why? You know why that is?
Doesn't exist.
Because he made it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was quietly filming. I wasn't doing anything. Other people were next to but they didn't have press badges.
I mean, I know officers, like, you can have interference is like a real
It's physical, not
Texas
free
Penal
speech.
Code.
Yeah.
If it interferes with our ability to do our job.
Well, if it's not
There's a
free
lot of-
speech.
a
Have
lot
you
of-
read the statute?
There's a lot of different ways you can interfere.
But have you read Section D of the statute? It's got free speech is
Yeah.
affirmative defense. So like
But-
when I'm
but
filming,
you
it's
can't
free
interfere
speech.
with,
Physically, yeah,
somebody.
I could get in there, and that would be maybe a law. But if I'm not in there, we can't make up laws. Because if y'all make up laws, we're gonna make up laws for y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We erode the law when we make just like light of it.
Yeah.
But I try to explain it to lawyers in the courts, but they don't. Everybody gets paid, so nobody really gives a shit. Just another dead right.
A lot of strange things in Travis County, huh?
And the legislature is saying there's no coincidences in Austin. Now that the Army Future Threats are here, we got the Fusion Center for multiple states based here. A bunch of things that you guys get the Mossad training right here. So like there's a lot of things, and they're saying that the legislature's saying that there's some things going on,
Okay.
orchestrated things, I guess, because they said there's no coincidences.
I got to. I'm not familiar.
Yeah. All right. Cool. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And,
You streaming?
You bet.
Are you YouTube or
Live. It says it's live right there.
are you doing Instagram or just YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay.
I'm too old for Instagram, I think.
What about TikTok?
It's too old to dance for people. You know, they like 5 seconds of.
There's big guys on TikTok right now.
Yeah.
That's one of the big platforms.
Well, I'm not in it for money though. I'm doing this for what it's supposed to be. I'm press, you know. So I'm not in it for the likes or the views or to be a YouTuber. I'm in it to keep the guys that you work with honest so they don't kill you one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Most of your followers in Austin, you think?
A lot of you guys follow me.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are interested in what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just like, Dash Mobile.
I've heard of it. It's the company?
No.
No, it's a person?
He's a streamer. He does local media news.
No, I don't know him.
Jamie Hammonds.
I don't know him.
He documents homelessness in Austin.
Oh, one of
He
those
does,
narcs? Is he one of the narcs?
I have no idea but I know he does a similar thing.
Is he one of the ones that says clean these people out, steal their stuff?
I don't know what he advocates.
Okay. I think he is. I think that's one. I think he's with Save Austin Now and all them people.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're also with the police.
He does his own thing.
Yeah.
But he streams.
He's a fascist Nazi. Come on, let's just admit it. I mean, he's the reason people die like this because he supports the police to target people and take their stuff in inclement weather and take their survival gear until they freaking die, which is the problem. That's bad enough, but the problem is the money that y'all use in your budget to do that should have been used to help him. So it's negligent homicide. Instead of natural causes, make sure the ME puts negligent homicide.
I'm not sure, sir.
I hear you. I don't know what he said, but I hear him. 15 feet. Does not exist. Police have no comment as they cash their paychecks for malfeasance, negligent homicide. They have no comments. They're called by citizens to attack other citizens. That's what they do for a living. They're paid by tax dollars, which come at a high price in property taxes that keep going up and up and up in Austin to pay for more and more police budgets. But in the end, they're powerless to help you. They can only hurt you. Unless there's somebody else they can hurt. But they always have to hurt somebody. It's a major problem with our society. That's the way we have it designed, is to hurt people. Like this man. Did they kill him directly? Maybe. Did they kill him indirectly? Yes. Does the police APD's budget keep growing even though the homeless services aren't keeping up with the city's demands? Yes. Anyone for tennis? Anybody want to move into a brand new condo that gentrifies people of color on the east side and raises our rent until we can't be here anymore? Demolishing buildings as they go. Anyone want to party at Club Carnaval? Get drunk? Alright, y'all. Not me. Not me. Dead man. Someone homeless got targeted by the city enough and now he's dead. So they're just waiting on the medical examiner to scrape up the body. The news isn't going to be here. They're not going to have a press conference.
Nothing.
There's about 400 or 500 people at least a year the APD in the city kills like this.
Yeah. I know him. His name's Danny.
You know that guy?
Yeah, I've known him
I
for
don't even know.
16 years.
Is he a nice guy?
Real nice dude. Yeah.
Is he in bad health? He looks malnourished.
He's been deteriorating over the last couple months, and the past few weeks he's just gotten really bad. He hasn't left that spot in about 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Older guy?
He's probably 60, not too old, but
He looks really skinny.
real skinny. He wasn't eating. He would just wake up, drink a little bit of soda, and fall asleep and sleep all day and all night.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you a little energy, but then it lowers your blood sugar. You know, there's a bomb, sugar bomb. But yeah, the cops don't care. I try to explain to them that while they keep increasing their budget, they're the ones harming the public.
Yeah.
And like the people on the streets, I that's a lot of what I film. The sweeps when they took everybody's stuff on Riverside. I set that camp up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all that too. That was a cool little setup.
Yeah, and so because the city swept them like 2 days before Christmas, I'm like, what? And took everything.
Yeah,
And mostly
2
black
days before
people, a few
Christmas?
brown people. Yeah. And I'm like,
Oh,
man, we're not gonna
goodness.
have that. So I started supplying tents, and finally got people brave enough to go in. Mama Red and her brother, her street brother, they were the first one, black elders.
Yeah.
And you know, they stayed there for years, and the city swept their shit and put Mama Red in housing, but then she died because they didn't give any real services.
Really?
But this guy, we pay taxes, rent, property taxes, mortgage, whatever. We pay that so that people can get taken care of, and the city pockets that money and misuses it. And there's like 50,000 people on the streets. A lot of people got evicted from COVID.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So once
Yeah.
the moratorium lifted, you're still behind.
Yeah.
You know, and so, man, it's just a bad setup. I try to explain it to the cops, but the cops don't have any comment.
Oh,
They don't have any comment, but they get like $580-something million a year now, and they've never were defunded. So it was all fake.
That's too bad, dude.
It's sad, man. I'm sorry about your friend.
Yeah, Dan, he was a real nice guy. He was a Christian too, man. So I know he's in heaven.
Yeah.
I know he is.
It's super sad. I've seen a lot of my friends die. I had a friend, she got run down on Riverside by a car. She was like, you know, she did go crossing the road, but she flew a sign down there for money,
Yeah.
and then she died. You know, she'd gotten
Oh.
hit like 3 different times.
At once?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
3 different times.
Oh, goodness.
I know, it's just, I'm like, use the crosswalk. But then also they don't, even if you do use the crosswalk, they're flying on Riverside.
Yeah. Yeah, they're flying.
And so they're not paying attention to that crap. And
No.
they run lights. People run lights all the time. You can't just go.
no, that's too
It's
bad.
not safe walking, traveling anywhere in Austin. They're a little bit self-centered, you know what I mean? They don't
Yeah.
really care. They won't stop.
They won't.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I've heard about it too.
Cool.
All right, brother. Hey,
All
I'm
right.
gonna move around. What's your name?
I'm Julian.
Moses.
Moses.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, Julian.
I'm
Hey.
sorry to give you the bad news.
No, it's all good. I'm just gonna look at him.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
brother.
That's super sad, y'all. Let's have a moment of silence for Dan and his friend Moses, and the people of Austin that don't matter anymore. The untouchables, those of us that are targeted to death and a genocide by white supremacists, Nazis like Mackenzie Kelly, who started this crap when she ran for office with Save Austin Now. She's a known Nazi. Fuck city council, they make me sick, along with these cops. Now I'm mad again.